We're live. Apparently, we are live. If you are new to this channel, please do subscribe. I'm live on here anyway. This is an experimental stream. This is an experimental stream, so please do bear with me. Not on TikTok, obviously. It's back. Yes! Yes! I can see it on my own laptop. We're here. Right, let me get rid of that. Thank you for arriving. The live streams are back and better than ever. What a time to be alive. Declan Rice is joining Arsenal. If you're on TikTok, I'm live on YouTube, and it's so much better than it used to be. The link is in my bio on TikTok. If you want to jump over, get in the live chat, subscribe to the channel if you fancy it, because we are back. We've got Guess the Gooner. We've got Guess the Non-Gooner. We're going to talk about Declan Rice. Not quite here we go yet, but we are on the verge of it, and I'm just buzzing. Do you know what, right? Someone commented on something earlier, or someone replied to me on TikTok earlier, right? And they said, you're rattled. It was, maybe I was replying to Boovy, probably, but they said, you're rattled. And I sat there, and I thought about it, and I was like, am I rattled? And I really thought about it, and I don't think I've been this unrattled since Newcastle at home in January. I don't think I have been this at peace with Arsenal Football Club since January. Everything is coming up Millhouse. Havertz, Rice, Timber. It's just glorious. Eni Aluko wasn't talking rubbish after all. She wasn't. Eni Aluko was not talking rubbish. She knows more than all of us. It's unbelievable. What a twist in the tail that was. I actually felt bad. She called me a clown off the back of that. Eni Aluko actually did. Eni Aluko did call me a clown. Which, do you know what? She knew. She knew and I didn't. So fair enough to her. I'm just going to try something, right? Look. Does this work? Does this work? You should be able to see the comment on. You should be able to see the comment on the YouTube video. If it works. Look, does that work? Look at this. Oh, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, the upgrades that we've got. So now, look, I can put a question on there. And you know what question I'm responding to, even after I've... So is Rice here we go in 24 to 48 hours? Yes. Yes, it is. I think. It does sound like Rice is going to be... within the next 24 to 48 hours. I didn't even put the tweet out to say I was live. It does sound like Rice is going to be done in 24 to 48 hours. Ultimately, the final card that that West Ham had was Man City. The final thing they had was whether or not Man City would come back in. As soon as Man City weren't going to come back in, West Ham were actually in the slight predicament that if Arsenal walked away, they'd be left with no bids. So... I do think it's going to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours. I don't think Arsenal will end up committing to that 18 months that West Ham wanted. And we do need to talk about that, because as relieved as I am that this saga is coming to an end, and as much as I actually think 100 million is fine, 100 million in 18 months is barbaric. Like, that is not normal behaviour. And I understand from a West Ham perspective, they can sell him for whatever they want, they can demand whatever they want. But 100 million in 18 months is mental. And so I don't think it'll end up on that. I think it'll end up probably being 2.5 to 3 years that we pay that 100 million, which is still a lot. It still means that next season we really need to make a lot of money and generate a lot of revenue. Through tournament winnings, you know, we need to go far in the Champions League and stuff like that. But yeah, that 18-month thing is wild. So you can understand why Man City would drop out at that point. And obviously the fact that Declan Rice has been so upfront about wanting to go to Arsenal, apparently, massively helps. Ricky says he's missed the streams. I have missed streaming. I really have missed streaming. Just being able to engage with the chat makes it so much better. Is it confirmed that Partey is staying? It's not confirmed that Partey is staying, but it does sound like he probably is. Which may well be to do with whether or not we can go and afford a replacement if he was to leave. Because when they were talking about, you know, under 30 million for Thomas Partey leaving, you can't replace Thomas Partey for under 30 million. So, yeah, and we've spent a lot of money on Timber, Havertz and Declan Rice. So... Rory, your streams used to be part of my after-school routine. Well, I mean, I guess it's the school holidays now, but we have returned. And the plan is to do these daily, so please do subscribe to the channel if that is possible. I'd say move the mic up a tad. What, because the mic's here? Can do. Is that better? Is that better? Are you going to do streams at a set time? Yeah, the plan is always going to be 5 o'clock. The plan always was to live stream at 5 o'clock, and that will be the case moving forwards. Do you want Partey to stay? So with Thomas Partey, right, I fully understand why the club might want to move him on. Not from a footballing perspective, but everything off the pitch. You know, if we had won the league last season, there would have been a bit, there would have been that cloud over it of the whole Thomas Partey situation. Whether we like it or not, you know, whatever your thoughts on Thomas Partey's guilt or innocence or any of the rest of it, it would have been a cloud over the club. And I think they know that. And I think if the opportunity arose for the club to get rid of him, they probably would. But ultimately, I think you can't lose a player of that quality for under 30 million quid. And people talk about his age. He's not that old. He's 30. Like, it's... I don't even think he's 30 yet, is he? Maybe even still... So, I personally wouldn't get rid of him. Obviously, some people would, and I understand why people would for other reasons as well. Ross Lawman is current holder of Guess the Gooner / non-Gooner. Yeah, to be fair, Ross Lawman was smashing Guess the Gooner. Before the live streams ended, Ross Lawman was smashing Guess the Gooner. Can he come back and do it again today? We shall see. So that means Xhaka is going to Bayer Leverkusen then. Yeah, Granit Xhaka is going to Bayer Leverkusen. That was always going to happen. The only thing that needed to be in place for that to happen was Declan Rice signing. So that deal has been agreed for ages. 118 people watching the YouTube. I mean, I think that's more than ever. I think that's more than we ever peaked at before the live streams died. So I massively appreciate it if you're watching the live stream. Please do subscribe. Daily streams. Normally there will be more news, but obviously the news was just Declan Rice and I made a video on it today already. Has any transfer been completed? Kai Havertz is done. Kai Havertz is done. It's not been officially announced by the club yet, although they did accidentally announce it on the app last night. They uploaded a video, the Kai Havertz announcement video, to the app last night. So it is 100% done. We've known since the weekend that it was done, truthfully. Declan Rice is very nearly done. Jurrien Timber is Jurrien Timber and Declan Rice are pretty much at the same stage in terms of Arsenal have basically agreed a fee with the club, and now we just need to sort out the structure of the deal. But I mean, what a 2-week period that is. The transfer window opened 2 weeks ago today. To have basically got Rice, Havertz, and Jurrien Timber done by now is staggering. Even with streams, are you still going to make vids? I will indeed. Even with streams, I will be making videos. The plan is a daily upload. Basically, right, some of the feedback that I got from people, which is fair, was that the live streams are pretty long. Like, if you just want the Arsenal news and updates, you don't want to have to sit through like a half an hour, 45-minute live stream to get it all, which I totally get. But some people like the engagement that we have with the chat, like being able to talk to me directly and get replies and stuff. So the plan is to do both. The plan is to cover the news quite sort of condensed in a video and then to go live at 5 as well, which hopefully suits everyone. Rory, could you say Eid Mubarak since it's Eid al-Adha Day? Yeah, absolutely. Eid Mubarak to everyone that celebrates that. I'll be honest, I really should brush up on my knowledge of those events. Mine is poor. But absolutely. Happy Eid Mubarak to everyone. Do you think he's worth it? Do I think Declan Rice is a £105 million player in isolation? Probably not. I think 90 million would have been fair. Do I think Declan Rice is worth 105 million to Arsenal, given that it was Mikel Arteta's absolute #1 priority signing, and it stops him going to Man City? Yes. I think the extra 15 million on top of the 90 million I think he's worth is worth spending to make sure that he's at Arsenal and not at Man City. Rory, have you got the shirt with the 32 games thing? No. So basically when the shirts came out, this is the £70 one that came out straight away when they announced the kits. The authentic one then came out about 3 weeks later, and that had the mistake on it. So I don't have the one with the mistake, because this doesn't have... It's down here. See this white line here? Oh, you can't see it on the YouTube stream. The white line down there is red on the authentic kit, and it has it's meant to have the 38 games that we played, but it doesn't. So, are you going on AFTV or pitch side this season? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Hopefully they want me back at some point this season. I know the pitch side viewers are generally not a fan of me, which is understandable. So I don't know if I'll go back on there. I'd love to, because I really enjoy doing it. And AFTV, again, I'd love to go back, but we'll see. I mean, the main thing for me is going to be streaming on this channel, right? I really enjoy just being sat here talking to you guys. So that's the big thing for me, is to grow this channel with all of you guys, build a community. And that's what I enjoy doing. I'm most looking forward for a day out at Wembley. Yeah, I'm buzzing for Wembley. I don't even know when the tickets go on sale. This still is something that I haven't figured out. But if you're going to Wembley, hopefully I'll be there. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great day. And this is another good thing about getting these transfers in so early, right? Is that we can take, hopefully, all of these guys on pre-season. And then going into the Community Shield game, they'll have played 2, 3, 4 games with each other already, which is massive for us. 150 people watching. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope, like, part of it is because the quality of the stream has massively improved, which has taken a lot of effort to do. But honestly, I massively appreciate all of you. Get your questions into the chat on YouTube as well. If you're watching on TikTok, I'm live on YouTube. Link is in my bio. Get over there. That's where I answer the questions, because they come through on this thing on the side. But I do appreciate you on TikTok, and if you follow as well. I've had so much fun today. I don't know about you. If you're assuming most of you are Arsenal fans, today has just been such a fun day, because it started with an element of stress. Before Man City were, like, officially out of the race, there was that element of stress of, well, if Man City come back in for Declan Rice, we've slapped everything on the table that we've got, and if they beat that, it's done. So I was stressed, and then as soon as it came out that he's basically coming to Arsenal, then you can relax and just enjoy all of the things that can often be really irritating about social media. You can just enjoy them. You know, you can find 2 videos of Boovy, one from 24 hours ago and one from today, where he's completely changed his opinion about Declan Rice. It's just joyful. It's joyful. And we've not had this for so long, and we've earned it. We deserve days like today for all of the days that weren't like today, for all of the transfer windows, for signing Kim Kallstrom with a broken back, for signing Petr Cech for £10 million as the only summer transfer, when all of the people around us were making like big signings. That whole era of not being able to spend money because we built the Emirates, it's been worth it for this feeling. Would you prefer the 3-2-4-1 or the 4-3-3 formation for this season? Good question. Both. Genuinely, I think the biggest benefit that we're going to have is that going into any game, the opposition aren't going to necessarily know which one of those we could turn out with. Last season, as much as I loved that starting 11, our best starting 11, you know what it is, that starting 11 was unreal, and I loved it. And they never lost a game. In fact, I think they had a 100% win rate in the Premier League last season. But the big problem with it was, and the big problem in general last season, was that we were really predictable. By the end of the season, we were really predictable because we only had that setup. And so I think going into next season, having the ability to play a 3-2-4-1 is massive, because we can change week in, week out, depending on who the opposition are, depending on, it can come down to subtle things like the opposition. Do they have a weak left back or a weak right back? And depending on that, you can play a different strategy. So I think it's a massive bonus for us. I think it makes us much harder to prepare for, and it's huge for us. I think early doors, you probably start with the 4-3-3. I think particularly Yuri and Timber will take a little bit of time before he beds into the team. And truthfully, a lot of people think Ben White is just going to drop out of this team, and I don't think he is. I don't think Ben White just instantly gets replaced by Timber. But I'm just excited to see how it works. I'm super excited for pre-season. I think pre-season is going to be really interesting, seeing how Havertz works, seeing if we bring Smith Rowe back in. Obviously, Smith Rowe is not really going to be in much of pre-season because of the Euros, but I'm excited. I'm excited. What do you think Havertz offers that Arsenal do not have? Progression through the midfield. So the one thing that we didn't have necessarily with Granit Xhaka would be that if he picked up the ball in that left 8 spot, which he often did, he couldn't take it past a player. He couldn't drive forward with the ball and then lay it off. He'd have to lay it off and then catch up with the play because he didn't have the pace, didn't necessarily have the ability to dribble past a player. Havertz has that. So I think it would be much easier to build out through that channel, through that Granit Xhaka channel, than it was last season. Obviously, he has the height that will replace the Granit Xhaka height. And without him, we don't have as much height. So, and I also just think his ability to spot a pass, he's exceptionally good at passing the ball. And he's quick with it as well. So, I think he's an upgrade on Granit Xhaka. I do think if we get the best out of him, he's an upgrade on Granit Xhaka. Who is your ideal goal-scoring striker for Arsenal? Well, truthfully, I don't think we're going to bring in a goal-scoring striker. You could argue that Folarin Balogun is a goal-scoring striker. You know, if you saw his finish for USA the other day, if you saw his finishes for Reims last year, he is a great goal-scoring striker. I'd love to bring in Ivan Toney. I don't think it's going to happen. And outside of that, you're looking at, you know, Vlahovic. I just don't think it's what we need right now. We had our highest ever goal-scoring season last season without an out-and-out goal-scoring striker. I think Jesus, if he stays fit, is going to have a massive season. I think he'll benefit massively from having the likes of Declan Rice behind him. So, ultimately, I just don't think it's a massive priority. I think we're nailing what the priorities were. Timber, absolutely perfect for the right centre-back and right-back spot, and the ability to invert into the midfield so that we can play the 3-2-4-1. Declan Rice, obviously, we knew we needed not just an upgrade on, not just a replacement for Granit Xhaka, but an upgrade on Granit Xhaka. Much as I love Xhaka, he probably was still the weakest part of our team last season, just because he was. There were blatant assets that Granit Xhaka doesn't have that could be upgraded, just in terms of pace, ability to run with the balls, things like that. So I think those two were the key ones. Havertz, I think, is really interesting. Obviously, his versatility is going to be massive, and we know Arteta loves versatility. We've got 171 people watching. Absolutely bananas. Rams can't see Ben White at centre-back again. Ben White's not bad at centre-back at all, I don't think. Do you know what the ticketing system will be like next season? Same crap? No. So the ticketing... Oh, right. Let's talk about the ticketing system. So, the ticketing system next season is a ballot. That ballot, which is good in itself, right? A ballot is a better way to do it. But everything that they've done with that ballot is poor. You will not be able to put any sort of filter on where you want to be or how much you want your seat to cost. So if you enter the ballot, you could end up with a ticket that's 250 quid and you can't afford it. And there's nothing you can do. All you'll be able to do is put your ticket on the exchange and try and get a different ticket off the market. And also, there's going to be roughly, so there are, for red members, there are roughly 3,000 tickets available per game, per home game. And there are roughly 150,000 red members. Which means you have a roughly... Rory, I hear a slight ringing noise. I'm not sure what that ringing noise is. Let me turn that light off and see. If that gets rid of the ringing, let me know. So there's basically going to be a 1 in 50 chance of you getting a ticket. Which means there's a genuine chance that you could go the entire season and through luck of the draw, not get a ticket. Which is poor. Silver members get more. I can't remember the exact quantity. I think silver members... So a silver member's going to have to answer that. I only know what the red numbers are. But effectively, yeah, as a red member, there's a chance that through the ballot, you never get a ticket this season. In terms of the... And if you do get a ticket, it might be one that you can't afford, which obviously isn't great. Now, there is a chance that the ticket exchange is way better next season. So the way the ticket exchange works is that if you've got a ticket and you can't go, you can put your ticket onto the exchange, Arsenal reimburse you with points, and someone can get your ticket. The good thing this season is that compared to last season where only season ticket holders could put their ticket on the exchange, everyone can put their ticket on the exchange now. So if you do get a ticket, you get in the ballot, because everyone really is going to put their name in the ballot for every game, whether they can go or not. So if you get a ticket to a game you can't go to, you can throw it back on the exchange. It should be easier to get tickets off the exchange than it used to be. That's my hope, because that's what I have almost always relied on in terms of getting tickets. Truthfully, we will not know if this system is better or worse than it used to be until the tickets start going on sale and we start figuring it out. But we can hope. We can hope it's an improvement, but we shall see. But they tell you the prices for the tickets depending on what cat the team is. Yeah, but depending on where actually in the stadium you're sat, the prices of the tickets change. So for different games, prices are lower and higher, whether they're category A, which is, playing against the top 6 or London teams, down to category C. But within that, there are massively different prices, basically. Anyway, look, it is time for the return of Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you an ex or current Arsenal player, their career path without the Arsenal part in it. You have to guess who that player is in the chat on YouTube. If you're watching on TikTok, either get it in the TikTok chat, or if you really want to win and get credit, get over to the YouTube channel, link in my bio. First person to get it correct has the immense pride of being the Guess the Gooner champion for the next 24 hours. It's the first person that comes up on my screen in the chat. Your screen will put your comments above some people if they type just after you, but it's on my screen. I'm not lying. I'm not making up who the winners are. It's just the way it is. So this player started at Hacken. They went to Djurgården. They went to Rennes, Olympic Lyon, Spartak Moscow, Grasshoppers, and Djurgården. Hacken, Djurgården, Rennes, Olympic Lyon, Spartak Moscow, Grasshoppers, and Djurgården. Who is the player? I'm waiting for it to come through. The first person to get it is V Vlad. It's V Vlad in the YouTube chat. He got it first. Oh my, there's so many more people that it flies through now. This is crazy. It wasn't Danny Ceballos. It wasn't Kim Kardashian. I mean, if Rams meant to type Kim Kallstrom, then he's unlucky, but it came up as Kim Kardashian, and I'm not taking that. VV Vlad wins. George Christodoulou second. Gabrielle third. Leo fourth. Jermaine fifth. And then a lot of you got it after that. That was crazy. The way that flew through on the chat was crazy compared to what it used to be. But it is indeed Kim Kallstrom. There you go. No, FPL Rays isn't the winner. Who won it? Here he is. VV Vlad. Credit where it is due, sir. You are the winner of today's Guess the Gooner. Now it is time for Guess the Non-Gooner. This is a player that has never played at Arsenal. I'll give you their full career path. You have to guess who it is. I think this one's quite easy, but time will tell. This player started at Coventry City. They went to Norwich. They went on loan back to Coventry City. They then went on loan to Aberdeen. And then they moved to Leicester City. So Coventry to Norwich, back to Coventry on loan, to Aberdeen on loan, and then to Leicester City. Who is the player? And it is... Who is it? Who is it? It is Jermaine. He spelt it wrong, but I know what he was going for. Jermaine has got it. It is James Maddison. Jermaine comes first. Who was second? Who was second? Young Tar was second. Rams was third. George Christodoulou fourth. And Kian Batten was fifth. Congratulations to our winners. I really should have done... Do you know what? I'm going to do another... We're doing another one. We're doing an impromptu second Guess the Gooner because it's been such a long time. I feel like I owe you more. Let me think of one off the top of my head. Who shall I go for? Who shall I go for? Thing is, I'm trying to remember all of the ones that I did in the past now, which is quite difficult. Because we did do a lot in the past, and I don't want to duplicate any of them. Who shall I go for? I know who I'm going for. This one I might have done, but I really can't remember. I really can't remember. So we're going to do it. And if I have done it before, then you win from being here. Nah, we definitely didn't do this. All right, this player, this ex or current Arsenal player, their career path without the Arsenal part of it. Bordeaux, West Ham on loan, Crystal Palace, Cardiff. There you go. Bordeaux, West Ham on loan, Crystal Palace, Cardiff. Who is the player? And I'll tell you what, it's VV Vlad again. He's done the double. How's he done it? How's he done it? That I am impressed. VV Vlad, I am impressed. It was Marwan Shamak, and he has done the double. He joins Ross Lawman as the only person to have done the double on Guess the Gooner. Unbelievable. It was not Debussy. Lots of shouts of Debussy. It was not. Ross Lawman actually came second, to be fair to him. Rohit came third. FPL Rays came fourth. Leo came fifth. I mean, fair play to VV Vlad. VV Vlad has done an unbelievable job. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Oh, God, I love Guess the Gooner. I've missed it. Can we do a ton of these? We can't do too many because I've run out of Arsenal players, and we're back to daily live streams now. So I've got to keep plenty in the bank. But we will be back, of course, tomorrow for another Guess the Gooner. Get your questions in the chat. We'll roll on for about another 10 minutes answering questions in the chat. What a day for VV Vlad. What a day. What a day. Another? I can't do another. I cannot do another. Would you take Kolo Muani? I'd take Kolo Muani, but I just, it's one of those, right? Of course I'd take him, but I just don't think it's a good use of our money right now. If I'm honest, what I think Arsenal have left, and so if you missed this, right, Team News and Ticks earlier today said that basically he alluded to something. There's still being something coming after Rice, Havertz and Timber. That there's something else in the pipeline. I think it's probably Lavia. I might be wrong. But if I had to say what I think is left for Arsenal this transfer window, I think we get those three done. I think Lavia or someone like Lavia gets done as well. And then I think there'll be one more. That'll be a bit off-piste. Cheaper. We don't have that much money left, let's be real. I think someone like a Xavi Simons, an Arda Güler, someone like that that's young, that can develop, a versatile forward. I think that would make sense. I mean, literally, yeah, Daily AFC content. Literally, so I've said that, and at the same time, Daily AFC content has commented Lavia, Güler or Simmons. So I think it'll be Lavia and then one of, maybe not Arda Güler or Xavi Simons, but something like that, a signing like that. I would love it to be Xavi Simons or Siemens. Siemens has got to be wrong, doesn't it? That sounds like ejaculate. So Mbappe off the table. Mbappe's next summer, Ross. Mbappe's that's phase 5. Mbappe's phase 5. He's next summer on a free as well. It's going to be unbelievable. Arteta's right toe. Rory Live's return. Declan Rice deal close. War a day. War a day indeed. Liam McCormack. Look at that. Look at that from Liam McCormack. He's having a torrid day. Liam's having a torrid day. Look at him. Look at him. Torrid day for Liam. Get off my screen. Go back to that one. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. It has been an unbelievable day for Arsenal fans around the globe. Where do you see Osimhen going? I think he'll stay at Napoli for another season. He's just signed that new deal. I think he'll stay there. I don't think... The only place I genuinely could have seen him going this summer was Chelsea. I never thought he was a Man United signing. The only place I could see him going was Chelsea. And I don't think that's going to happen. Just based on the way that they've been doing their business so far. So, Yeah, I think Osimhen stays for another season. Rather you guys than City, to be fair, says Liam McCormack. Oh, I thought you were a City fan, to be fair. I thought you were a City fan. England under 21s are winning 2-0 in the Qatar quarterfinal. Good. Who are they against? Portugal. Poor Nuno Tavares is getting knocked out, but Emil Smith-Rowe is going through. What happened to Rice-Ado? I don't think Rice-Ado can happen anymore. I mean, it would be monumentally alpha for us to get Rice done and just immediately go and slap a bid on Caicedo. But I just don't think we've got the money. A City fan is a rare seeing. Yeah, it's just Boovy, isn't it? It's just Boovy. Germany. Oh, Germany. I thought we were against Portugal. Fair enough. I was mistaken. 2-0 against Germany. That's good. That is good. Who scored? How much do you think ESR will play next season? I think Smith-Rowe will get decent game time next season. I think he will. Newcastle with Tonali, what do you think? I think Tonali is a great signing. I think they've overpaid for him. But Newcastle are in that position at the moment where I think for a while, for European players, they will have to overpay a little bit. Man City went through that process. What do you think of Boovy's 2 TikToks? It's just funny, isn't it? It's funny. It's his style. It is his style. It gets views. It's got him to where he is. ESR's going to have a brilliant season. I hope so. I do hope Smith-Rowe has a brilliant season. Archer and Elliott, fair play. We're overpaying for Rice. So, you're not wrong. We are overpaying for Rice in the sense that just his natural market value is probably closer to about 90 million. But the extra 15 million we're paying, I think, is worth the money to make sure that he's at Arsenal next season and not Man City. The alternative being that Arteta's #1 target that he's wanted since January, that he's planned next season's team around having, if that player's at Man City, that's a disaster. So for an extra 15 million, in the grand scheme of things, I think that's a good decision to make. When will we see you next on pitch side? I don't know. Soon, hopefully. Soon. We're paying for Rice's CV, not his ability. I kind of get what you mean. And you can look at it as like, you look at what Jude Bellingham's gone for. I do think Jude Bellingham is a better player with a higher ceiling than Declan Rice. And so you could look at it in that sense and say, is there only really a 10 million difference between them? Probably not. But again, I just think this was a deal that we had to get done. And it's good. You know, how many times did we say before the transfer window opened, I said it on here, said it on videos, Arsenal had to prove that we can compete with Man City in the transfer market. Because winning is not just about winning on the pitch. You have to be able to win off the pitch as well. And we've beaten them to a massive signing. And that is huge for us. And I'm buzzing that we've managed to do it. Absolutely buzzing that we've managed to do it. The way I see it, we're overpaying 15 million for Rice, but we're underpaying 15 million for Timber. Well, that is the other thing. We're massively underpaying for Yuri and Timber. I can't believe the value we're getting Yuri and Timber for. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts. And again, Kai Havertz is the one that is a complete unknown. Because if we get the Chelsea Kai Havertz, we've massively overpaid for him. If we get the Bayer Leverkusen Kai Havertz, we've massively underpaid for him. So it depends what we get out of him, what Arteta gets out of him. That could end up being an absolute stroke of genius. It could end up being a mistake. But time will tell. Ultimately, time will tell. He's a near world-class level player, but the fact he's an English academy player and a captain boosts his price. Yeah, massively. Don't underestimate how important someone of Declan Rice's mentality is. A leader in the dressing room. It's phenomenal. Have you seen the tweet from Maddison in 2012 about Gareth Bale? Yeah, he called him a monkey, did he? Yeah, he said he hates him and he's a monkey. And now he's joining Spurs. So, Spurs are in the mud. Spurs are in the mud. Thoughts on us potentially getting Gula and Xavi Simons? It wouldn't surprise me if we got one of them. I don't think we'll get both of them. I don't think we need both of them, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if we get one of them. And I think either or would be a great signing, because both of them are going for way less than they should do because of their contract situations. Timber can play nearly anywhere in the back four and DM. Yeah, he can. Timber's so versatile. I actually don't think he'll play that much at centre-back for us. Just because really Saliba's level is higher than Timber's as a centre-back. But we'll see. If Balogun has a £50 million price tag, how much will Nketiah's price be? I think Nketiah's probably around 30 million, truthfully. Will you be doing watch-alongs for away games? Yes. The plan is to do watch-alongs for as many away games as possible. In fact, for all of the away games. The only difference will be if I'm on a different stream like Pitchside or anything for it. But other than that, the away games will all be streamed on this channel. I'm a bit worried about next season. Last season we didn't have enough leaders, and next season we'll have too many. Kind of, but I feel like they're leaders in different they're leaders in different senses. I think Ødegaard isn't to me, Ødegaard isn't a leader in the sense that in a dressing room, I don't think people are looking to Ødegaard to really G them up, to rally the troops. But he is like the perfect role model in terms of the way he approaches football. I think Declan Rice is more of a player that you look to in the dressing room. So I think it's good to have that blend of different leaders. Is Tomiyasu's future a doubt? No, I don't think so. I still think people underestimate how important Tomiyasu is to Mikel Arteta. The versatility of Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu might only be a third choice right back, left back, or centre back. But the fact that he can do all three of them means that we are in no danger of like a defensive crisis the same way that we had this season and last season. So he's just one of those players that's really important to have if he can stay fit. City fan here, congrats on Rice. Should once again be an entertaining season. Do you know what? I respect it. I respect that. It should be an entertaining season. We battled out for Rice. We'll battle you next season. But I respect that. Well, just being civilized, really. I respect it. When's the first pre-season game? It is. It's soon. It is on the 13th of July. It is the 13th of July against Nuremberg. We played them last season, if you remember. It was our first game of last season as well. Rice would be a commanding voice in the dressing room as a motivation. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But look, that is going to be the end of the live stream. I honestly cannot thank you all enough for turning up. This has been our most viewed live stream from before. I'm so happy to be back doing it. I love communicating with the chat, talking to you all. I'm buzzing to be back doing it every day, 5 p.m. Please do subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're on TikTok, massive shout out to you watching on TikTok. You can follow the YouTube channel. The link is in my bio to that. And we just look forward to the rest of this summer. Have a fantastic evening, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Cheers.